Hey everybody, it's Stephen Williams with the creditrepairshop.com, and it's been a very busy day. As some of you know, I run two different companies, and it's been just a hectic day with helping people, and that's what we do is we help people. But today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about a summons, because we got people talking about the collections, but what we don't see is people that are helping people once they get summoned by a debt collector or an original creditor on what are your rights, what can you do about when you get that summons at your house, because a lot of these videos about collections and stuff, what people talk about on them is these are old debts. The what I call it is like easy things to get off of people's credit reports, easy to dispute, easy uh, to go against the debt collection company, because unless you've given them the ammunition to collect the debt, if you challenge it or you validate it the proper way, they're not going to be able to collect on that debt. It could be statute of limitations or whatever. But let's talk about some serious debts. We're talking about debts where you owe them. There might be 1 or 2 years old. They might be 6 months old. They're coming after you, and they're going to get a summons to take you to court. And this is a debt that you're not going to be able to uh, get out of unless there's problems with the summons that they sent you. So let's start first is when you get a summons, they're going to have to serve it to you at your house. You have to be properly served. That's required. Some states, because they are making it easier for debt collection companies, is they have to just show that they tried to serve it. They'll have a certified stamp from the post office, or if they have a servicer saying that they tried to serve at your house several times, and or at your job or whatever. So that's step one, what they're going to do. And depending on your state, it's going to be if they're able to say that attempting the process serve you is good enough, or if they have to serve it to you. Now, let's move forward. They've processed, they went through and they've served it to you. Hold on, let me get that turned off. They've served you, they got you going to court. Let's just say, for example, they did serve it, you signed it, you're going to show up to court. Now, what you have to do is you have to answer. Now, I've won where my clients have won their cases, or where it didn't even get to go into a case, by simply answering all of the answers that's in the summons. When you look at it, there's going to be a list of questions, like it's going to be like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, or is it going to be 1, 2, 3, whatever. There's going to be what's called answers. They want you to answer to all the questions in the summons. If you answer those questions, and you, like, say for instance, it's going to be one, I'm going to look at an example that I got here. They might be saying, is this your name? Did you live at this address? So and so had this is his name, this is the address. And if you don't answer that question right, they're going to assume that it is right. There could be a problem with that question, and you can get everything thrown out on a technicality just by you answering that question and the other questions that are in the summons. And if any of them are wrong, or you want to challenge any of it, this is the time that you're going to be able to challenge what's in how the debt collection company is coming after you. There could be, everything could be right, and the balances could be right, could be wrong. And you can, in your answers, you're going to answer and say these charges are not valid, or I don't those charges, I don't recall that amount being for the charge. And then so you will write in your answers to all of them. And so what you do, let me just make this simple for you. You get your summons and you sign for it. If you sign for it, or they sent it in the mail, depending on your state, it's different for every state. So don't quote me on how every state is going to allow the process to go forward. But you get the document, you read it, make sure everything is correct, and then you go line by line. Even if it's correct line by line, you need to answer something to what they're asking the question, because all of those in that summons are questions, and you need to answer all of them. If they got five, you need to answer five. If they got 10, you need to answer 10. You don't need to skip. If it seems like they number one is the same as number nine, you need to answer number nine and say, I had the same answer that I answered in number one, and then you rewrite that same answer. That's how you have to answer it. And then when you go to court, and well, before that, you need to send one to the attorney that's for the plaintiff, or you send it to, if they're going to court for themselves, you send it back to them, the plaintiff, to that address, and you need to send one to the judge, and it'll have the address on the summons. Then, if there were problems, what'll usually happen is that the lawyer for the plaintiff will ask for the date to be changed so they can get answers to your concerns, because they don't want to show up to court and have put things in there that were wrong, and you have evidence that it is wrong. They don't want to show up to court and have that happen, so they'll usually ask to, if it's not far enough out, they'll ask to have the date changed, and then they'll get the answers. And but what I've seen happen is that, because they're doing work for many clients, and trust me, these lawyers are not like the high standard, the higher lawyers that are in there arguing in court. These are usually the lawyers that they just give work to, and they usually are getting paid a salary. They just show up to court, and they usually don't even know about the case until they get in there, and then they'll. So they don't want to be in there and not have the answers, because you can ask for a dismissal. So what they're going to do is usually push it out, or they're going to have enough time to get that information. If they can't get that information from the original creditor, they're usually gonna just say that they're not gonna come after you, or they want to have the case dismissed, or they might try to have it go to court and depend on you not showing up and having the information. But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna ask for it to be pushed back, and then if they can't get that information, they're going to cancel that court date. But you have to do that process right now. Let's go and move forward and say that they do have the information, or they get the information, or there was everything was correct in the original summons, and you answer everything. Even if it's correct, you need to make it your answers and have your day in court, because you never know what could happen in court, because that's setting you up for the next part, the next phase, which is where you'll ask the judge and explain, well, you'll tell the judge your situation, your financial situation, that you're just not able to pay that entire debt, and that you would like to work out something with the debt collection company, and that's going to allow you to be able to move forward. I don't care what anybody says. There are millions of people that are sued by debt collection companies, and only there's a large portion of them are ones that end up being collectible, and this is the way that you would do it the right way, so you don't have nothing hanging over your head. I'm telling you, this is the way that you do it. So when you have a summons, just, if you have one, go back through this video, and you can learn how to answer that. Now, I want to get into something else that I feel that is very important, because I said that I'm going to be talking about this in all of my videos, is because I am seeing a lot of people that feel like they want to quit. And I'm not just talking about with people that are having problems with their credit. I'm talking because I have a lot of business customers that I consult with, that I help them with their businesses, advertising their companies, and people get to a feeling of where they get overwhelmed, where they just don't feel like they can make it, like they just can't move forward. When they try to better themselves, it seems like more things get piled on top of them. Like like you think it would be opposite when you try to improve your life, when you try to start a business, or you're running a business and you try to expand it. You would think that things get easier, but it's really the opposite, because when you're going to get major success, things are going to get hard. No matter what you do in life, things will get harder when you try to be successful. So I'm going to give you some words, things that I do myself. I just went through this with one of my business clients, and I'm going to go through it with you because I believe that this just needs to be out there. Um, Number one, you can't let people put stuff into your mind that is negative. And the way that I did it for myself when is that you have to program yourself for success. A lot of people play around with this, but they do not understand that there's over 10,000 messages from just going home and going to work and on TV, on the internet, watching videos, and people can put negative things into your mind and you don't even know it. You have to program yourself. And what I suggest is that you write down your goals on paper and you tell yourself what you want to be told, and you say it to yourself over and over again, because you will become what you don't want to become if you let other people feed to you who you are, how good you are, how good you look, what type of person you are going to be, or that if you can be successful, if you can't be successful, they will put that in your mind and you will start to believe it unless you feed yourself. And I was showing this to my client that came in. You see that? Over 6 months. This was back in 2010, where I had felt like I was stuck and I had rewrote my goals at that time. And what I did is every day I said it out loud 10 times a day, my goals, and it was just a short sentence, and then I wrote it 10 times a day, no matter if I was on vacation or whatever. You could even see that this one was in green ink because I couldn't find a pen, a regular pen, so I had to write that one in green. But I wrote it 10 times a day for 6 months. I said it 10 times a day, and I wrote it down 10 times a day for 6 months straight. And at that time, my goal, because I was stuck at a certain income goal, which was 24,000 a month, was what I was making, and I was stuck there. It seemed like the whole time from the 2000s all the way into that time in 2010, I was stuck at that amount. And my goal in here is I had put down that I wanted to earn $48,000 a month, and I by the time of the 6 months of that goal, I was at $65,000 a month. And just like I was just telling my client here, is that some of my best months for my income has been over $100,000 in a month. Now I could have just believed what everybody else had told me. I could have just listened to people and not tried. I could have just felt sorry for myself. I could have done all these types of things that people tell you to do, but no, I stuck to what I gave myself my own beliefs, and then I did the actions and to make those changes. And that's what you're gonna have to do. I don't care. It doesn't matter what business you want to do. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have right now. What matters is that you control yourself and you become the person that you want to be. Now, the other thing that I talk about, and I want to real quick before I end the video, is this book here, The Laws of Success. There's a section, and I've said it once before, but I'm gonna say it again. Um, for you to get to where you want to be, you're gonna have to get rid of some people that's around you that are negative, and it doesn't matter who that person is. It could be a parent, it could be a close friend, it could even be your spouse. If that person does not become aligned with you, you are not going to get to where you want to be. I'm just telling you, it's not going to happen. And I'm going to read real quick that once you place yourself under the proper influence of associates, you must adopt some definite plan by which you can attain the objects of your alliance and proceed to put that plan into action. So, whatever your goals are, if it's you and two people, you and another person, whatever, it needs to be you and one other person or two people. And they don't have to be business partners, they could just be where you have goals and they have goals. But you need to have people that are going to work with you on your goals, and then you have that plan of action, and those people cannot work against you no matter what. They cannot do anything to make you feel like you can be defeated. They cannot make you bring up negative Emotions. If that person, when you get around them, there's some type of negative emotion that happens where you feel like you're inferior or you feel like you're not good enough. You need to get rid of that person and you need to fill it with another person. With you get this book here, Laws of Success. This is the big one. It's not in the smaller one, and it's called the Universal Law of Cosmic Habit Force. You need to read it, and if you go, it's on page 1019, page 1019. I read this all the time, and I really read this section over and over because if you're gonna be successful, you're gonna have to uh, get rid of people that are negative. You're gonna have to uh, uh, feed yourself positive information, and you have to believe in yourself. And the only way that you're going to believe in yourself is to get rid of everything that was negative, or as much as possible everything that is negative. And then you need to give yourself, by writing and saying your goals over and over and over again until it just rolls off of your tongue. Like I had wrote this so many times, I could just spit it out without even. I could have wrote it with a blindfold on, and I could say it without looking and reading it. I could just say it, just blurt it out. You need to be that way. So I hope that this information has helped you, and I don't care what other people say. I'm gonna do it the way that I believe and the way that I feel that people need. Number one, they need the energy that I'm gonna give them, and they need the help that I'm gonna be able to give them. And I'm gonna also say that people do not need to be a customer of my company. You can do all of this yourself. We are just here to help people that are too busy or that just don't know where to turn, that just need help with their credit. So if you need help with your credit, we give free consultations, and you can visit our website at thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you.